folks, BlackCross here. Welcome back to Cross Gaming News. So, we actually have a lot of new reveals this past week, and quite frankly, I was actually kind of surprised because, honestly, I wasn't expecting anything new to come out of either of these two events. And by anything new, I mean like new, you know, like something that hadn't been revealed before, not the God of War thing. Code Vein, I would have liked to have heard when it was going to be released, but so far we still haven't heard anything from that. And in terms of like the Video Game Awards ceremony, I was actually surprised that there was a bunch revealed during that time. So, to go ahead and get things started, we're going to start off with the new trailer that From Software just revealed to us. Now, this so-called teaser trailer has a lot of people baffled right now, because right now, as it stands, no one knows what it is, but some people have a good idea as to what it could be. I personally myself have some theories about this, but we'll get into that in just a sec. So the trailer that you're seeing right now, the teaser trailer, is actually that of a strange gizmo that's being used or somewhat implemented, and from what it looks, we can't really tell right off the bat as to what it's supposed to be, or even what it's for. As we know, it's some contraption that's made with a bone and a red cord, which some of us assume to be blood, in which case that's basically a weapon, a trick weapon, used in Bloodborne. But that being said, there's also the fact that there's something behind the background, as well as some music that's being played. Take a listen to this. That right there alone throws off the whole Bloodborne vibe. And that right there is just enough to where people have to ask, is it Bloodborne? Well, the answer to that question isn't so much as to is it or is it not. The question is, what does From Software plan on doing next? Keep in mind, Miyazaki himself has actually said in multiple times that he doesn't want to work on Soulsborne content for the next couple of years. So, with that being said, this couldn't be Bloodborne, nor could it be Dark Souls. So what is it then? I actually have a theory on my behalf. If you remember, Bloodborne is a PlayStation 4 exclusive title. That alone says that even if they were trying to, it wouldn't be put onto the Xbox One nor PC because Sony owns the rights to Bloodborne. Therefore, by term of definition, Bloodborne could not possibly be released for multiple consoles, unless they plan on it. But from what Miyazaki says, he doesn't want to work on Bloodborne, much less Dark Souls, for quite some time. They want to take a break from it, which is perfectly understandable. I understand. However, though, this is where the theory begins. If you remember, Demon's Souls was released for the PlayStation 3 when it first got released, and it was a PlayStation exclusive only title. So, when Dark Souls got released, it was available for not only PlayStation 3, but also for Xbox 360, as well as PC. So naturally, what this meant was that this became the multi-console version of Demon's Souls, but obviously, because of Dark Souls' success, it became the superior version. Now, even though Bloodborne is not the worst of the franchise of the Souls series, it is, however, the one that stands alone by itself in the Souls series. What I mean by stands alone, you have Demon's Souls and then Dark Souls, where it had its three predecessors, and while both games have similarities, Bloodborne is extremely different on its own level. While the gameplay and the functionality stays the same, it itself is drastically different in terms of atmosphere, in terms of what the lore is, as well as the theme behind it. See, whereas Dark Souls takes place in like a medieval time, Bloodborne takes place in an old Victorian style, such as, what's the term that people use? I completely forgot the term all of a sudden. H.P. Lovecraft, that's what it is. That's basically what Bloodborne is supposed to signify. So, with that being said, Bloodborne itself is drastically different than what Dark Souls is. but because Bloodborne was an exclusive for Sony only, it's not going to be released on multiple consoles anytime soon. Unless somebody else ends up shelling out enough money to where they can outbid it to where it can be released on multiple consoles. What if From Software is actually working on a title like Bloodborne, but it's going to be released on multiple consoles? That would be interesting. In other words, it isn't Bloodborne, and it definitely isn't Dark Souls, but it's its own IP that gets a chance to be released on multiple consoles. So with that being said, I think that's what it is that it is Bloodborne, but it's not. It's not Bloodborne, it's its own title, but it shares similarities that Bloodborne had that made it successful, and it carries those same traits onto this game. So whatever this game is, this Shadow Die Twice teaser trailer, I am fairly confident that it's a Bloodborne replica, but for multiple consoles. Probably willing to bet money on this one. Not exactly sure as to how much, but I'm willing to bet money on this one. Just you wait. I know what you're up to, From Software. You can't fool me. I know what you're doing. So with that being said, there was another reveal to us that a lot of us was shocked, but at the same time, a lot of us was happy to see. And that was the reveal of MediEvil being put onto the PS4. A lot of us suspected that Spyro was going to be the next game to be put into the Crash scenario. And by scenario, I mean the Crash treatment. And if you remember, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy was actually an HD rebuild from the ground up of the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy that was released for the PlayStation 1. A lot of people thought that, hey, since Crash Bandicoot is considered to be one of the biggest IP that Sony had back in the day, maybe Spyro will get that same treatment. And a lot of us still betted on money that Spyro was going to be the next game. Not going to be the case. Instead, it is Sir Daniel in the MediEvil games. Which makes me happy. Makes me extremely happy, okay? And I'll tell you why it makes me happy too. Number one, I've played a little bit of the first one. I hadn't really played it all the way through because I downloaded it from the PlayStation Store. And I was like, I want to play this because I'm interested to see how this is. And sure enough, it was interesting enough to where I actually got into the series. And keep in mind, I hadn't heard anything about this guy until like the PlayStation Battle Arena game came out. And when I saw him and found out he had his own game, I was like, oh, okay, guess I gotta look into this one and see what he's like. And there are 2 games total that he has been in. 3 if you count the re-release that was put onto the PSP. But the other reason too that this makes me happy is that while they technically had MediEvil available for the PlayStation 3 store, they do not, however, have the sequel available to download. And here's the problem with that. The sequel itself is, in terms of physical release, is only available like $50 to $70. That's high. A lot more higher than I would want to pay for your average PlayStation 1 title. I think the most that I probably would pay is probably $20 or $30, but no more than that. Unless it was like a rare title, in which case, I could be a little bit loose, but not exact loose, you know? I have to pay for the apartment, of course. But that being aside, it's good to know that this game has a chance to relive its legacy and being put onto the PlayStation 4 and being rebuilt from the ground up. I'm looking forward to this. It's like, as soon as I heard the announcement, I was like, no way. MediEvil? Are you kidding me? And then I see the trailer and I'm like, wow. Thank you guys. You made me happy. This is definitely going to be good. This 2018's already looking to be a great year for a lot of people. And right now, from the games that we're going to be getting in 2018 is proven to be the best year we've had in quite some time. In terms of other announcements, during the Video Games Awards ceremony, they actually did it a little differently than what they have been over the past few years. And what do I mean by differently? Well, within each and every award that they give out, they practically revealed a new trailer for the game. They continue to release trailer after trailer after trailer. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, maybe this is the direction that this needs to be. You know, for a long time, a lot of people thought that this was going to be your nonchalant award ceremony that gets boring after a while. And after a while, even a lot of us were thinking to ourselves, it's like, I mean, it's nice to get something like this after a while, but unfortunately it's not that segmented. But instead, the Video Games Award Ceremony is actually a great opportunity to do release trailers or reveal trailers of upcoming titles that's going to be revealed. And for a lot of people, this is good to have, you know? At least this gets from where you find out what game gets Game of the Year, and then a new trailer pops up, and it's like, oh, okay, this actually gets my attention now. This is nice. But then, something happened that a lot of people were like, what? And then a lot of people are like, what? Bayonetta, which if you remember, was released for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 some time ago. But for some reason, because of certain issues, Sony and Microsoft did not buy Platinum Games, much less their next game title. So Platinum Games was kind of left in the dark. However, Nintendo decided to buy the company and actually produce Bayonetta 2. And it's because of that that helped save the company. So, what did we get from this? We have none other than the reveal of Bayonetta 1 and 2 being re-released for the Nintendo Switch, which a lot of people are satisfied with that. But also, too, we're getting a Bayonetta 3. What? Really? We're getting a Bayonetta 3? Wow! I still need to play the second one. But, yeah, Bayonetta 3 is going to be made and is going to be released for the Nintendo Switch, which I'm actually surprised. It's like, really? Wow, we're actually going to get Bayonetta 3. This is interesting. Now, there is a controversy behind all of this, and apparently people are saying that why couldn't Bayonetta be released for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One? You know, both consoles are powerful enough to where they could support Bayonetta. And yes, this is true, but you've got to remember too, Sony and Microsoft didn't buy Platinum Games. They kind of left them out in the desert to dry and stuff. And Nintendo saw them and they were like, well, we need more games for our consoles, so let's go ahead and get Platinum Games on board. And so that's how Bayonetta 2 got to be put onto the Nintendo's, the Wii U. So it makes sense why Bayonetta 3 is not going to be seen on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, because this is going to be until Sony and Microsoft actually gets their wallets and actually pays for it. Actually, we're not going to need to see Bayonetta 3 released on other consoles. It's going to be Nintendo for quite some time. But I have no doubt in my mind that Nintendo plans to keep it that way in future installments. Mostly because, really, when you think about it, if no one's going to buy an IP, even though it deserves more, then it only makes sense that some other company who, while they have thousands of IPs on board, I'm sure they don't mind having an extra IP on board, especially if it's as popular as Bayonetta. In which case, go for it, Nintendo. If you can make a third one, I can't wait for the third one. Still need to play the second one, but still can't wait for the third one. That's pretty cool. And to the team behind Breath of the Wild, congratulations to you guys for getting Game of the Year award, as well as like Best Action Game, I believe it was, and then Best Art Direction, which I was like, wow. So they've got 3 awards for this one game. That's incredible. So congratulations to you guys. I even thought to myself too, I was like, compared to all the other games, Nintendo stands a better chance of earning the award ceremony than anything else. Final Fantasy 15 was okay-ish, but it doesn't really deserve the praises that it gets right now. And Nier Automata, I've already done a video already on that one, but even it doesn't deserve to get a nomination. But it did get an award of some kind, being that of Best Music, and I'm like, it does. I'm not gonna lie, it does have pretty good music, but to some degree, I was kind of like, there's no reason for this award ceremony to even come up, because there wasn't really that much of, like, fantastical, fabulous, and much less ultimate game releases. But that was stuff that I have played. I hadn't played Breath of the Wild, much less Mario Odyssey, which I still need to play both of them. Because both of them actually look really, really good. They do. But I don't see Delmar letting go of the Nintendo Switch for quite some time. I don't see him letting go of that. In fact, right now, he's playing the Mario Odyssey and trying to complete it 100% of the way. Good luck with that, Delmar. But yeah, congratulations to you guys. You've earned the award, and by all means, thank you so much. And thank you so much, too, for staying in and watching this video. Let me know in the comments below which ones are you interested in. Are you interested in what From Software is going to be working on right now? Are you interested with the MediEvil title that's going to be re-released for the PS4? Or are you interested in the Bayonetta trilogy that's going to be on the Nintendo Switch? I'll be interested to hear on that one, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Take care, guys.